Today I'd like to talk about the ritual disciplines for meditation. These are the techniques that allow us to move from one state to another. It's actually an area that's often neglected. Most schools tend to focus on environmental things, what you wear, where you sit, and postural, how you sit and how your body's positioned. These transitional techniques are extremely important because without them, people can find it hard to move from their normal waking consciousness to the very focused state that's needed for training, or to move from one specific exercise which is extremely focused on one thing to another. It's actually very hard, for example, to spend 10 minutes focusing on one subject or working with one particular type of breathing or energy, and then to move to clearing your mind of all thoughts without some form of transition that clearly states what you're stopping doing and what you're starting. When you first sit down to do your routine, the actual gesture of taking off the beads is something that clearly states that you're about to practice. Likewise, obviously there's lots of environmental things that could suggest to your mind what you're wearing, where you're sitting, the fact you're lighting incense, that this is practice time. But if you're very dedicated, then you're probably going to find yourself in situations where these don't always exist. So a specific gesture, something that means something to you, use your intuition for this, a visualization, and perhaps a phrase, an affirmation or a prayer. So you could visualize yourself in the perfect state for meditation. You could offer a prayer for help. Some people have a special name, a spiritual name, they could say that now. Something that says to the whole of your being, it's time to practice. You may have noticed that during that gesture, I put my beads wrapped up on my left arm. This is a good thing to do because it allows your mind to still know that you're practicing, but that you're not actively involved in meditation. The next thing you want to do is to do some form of specific protection ritual, something to clear all negative influences and to make a controlled environment for you to practice in. Then it's time for your first meditation. So let's imagine our first meditation is to clear our mind of all thoughts. Hold your beads thus and take a moment to visualize exactly what you're about to do. Use a specific phrase or statement of intent. I'm going to clear my mind of all thoughts for 10 minutes. Visualize success, and then it's time for your meditation. Now, once you've completed your meditation, it's time to move to the next exercise. To do this, we need to make sure that that original intention is completely gone. So we use this gesture, it's a gesture called closing the door, and we clear that intention. This is particularly important when we've been doing something that involves visualization. We clear that visualization, we clear that mantra or that energy away. And even if you believe that because of the nature of your exercise your original intention is banished, this is an important discipline as it helps us make that change. Then it's time for your next meditation. Once again, hold the beads in this position. Maybe the next meditation is to contemplate fire. So we imagine success in this and we say to ourselves, I'm about to think about fire for 10 minutes. to enter into the mysteries of fire, to contemplate it fully without disturbance for 10 minutes. Then it's time for our meditation. And once again, after the meditation, closing the door. And you can imagine how important this is when it comes to energy exercises. Then at the end of the whole routine, you also need a gesture that says to yourself, this is over. It's time to broaden my focus into the normal state of consciousness. So start off by putting your beads back. Imagine that you're taking the lessons and the higher state of consciousness with you. Make your gesture. Imagine that visualization disperses now. We're moving back to the everyday life, taking the lessons with us. These disciplines are extremely important as they allow us to have purity in each exercise. I've met people who've been practicing for many years, and part of the problem has been that one exercise is causing disturbance with another. And moving from one to another is a foundational skill which becomes increasingly important as we work in more advanced energetic ways. So make sure you're fastidious in practicing it.